Kemper Profiler Tones and Talks, episode 12. That tone show 12. Thomas Dill, hi Thomas, my name is Tom Wendt. Thomas Dill created another amazing tone, and this time I think it's more like yacht rock. Do you know what that is? Here's the video first. Yacht rock, originally known as the West Coast sound, that's what Wikipedia says, or adult-oriented rock, is a broad music style and aesthetic commonly associated with soft rock. One of the most commercially successful genres from the mid-70s to the mid-80s, drawing on sources such as smooth soul, smooth jazz, R&B, and disco. Yeah. High quality production, clean vocals, light and catchy melodies. And what does it tell you? You weren't familiar with the name yacht rock. It's like, yeah, the 70s, the Studio Cracks, the stuff they did.
For me, it's West Coast rock.
West Coast rock. Yeah,
I would call that West Coast rock.
Exactly. That's what they say. It's a West Coast sound. So, how did you put this together, and why on earth did you come to thinking of West Coast sound? Because it's. Is there
to be honest, I didn't ever think of West Coast sound in that part and arrangement. I thought about a normal pop song setting. Maybe I'm too old for pop songs, but I was too young in the 70s for West Coast sounds, and I just tried to do an arrangement of a verse sound, a pre-chorus sound, and a chorus sound. Maybe that's why it's not pop, because it has a guitar solo in it. Mm-hmm. So, normally pop songs don't have guitar solos anymore. So then it's West Coast yacht rock or something like that. And I try to change the parts with different sounds, or play the parts with different sounds to get some catchy tones, because the listener loses the attention if you don't have something to present, and that's in the pop genre. And I try to realize that with just one clean amp. You might guess which amp I'm using, and some overdrive pedals, some other effect pedals, modules. Mm-hmm. So like a pedalboard style with a profiler. So that's it. And I'll show you the screen. Here we are.
Let's get on the deck of the yacht.
I will listen tonight to a yacht rock playlist on Spotify, I think. Mm-hmm. And feel inspired. So we have, for the first sound, the Kemper drive, 2-tap delay, and natural reverb. These are the three effects I'm using beside this with this Tweed Deluxe amp. And starting with the amp, the part sounds like that. I would say, hard say, boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? That's right.
I expected that you would say so.
Clean and boring. But it's this profile is not boring at all. It's a great platform to add some overdrive pedals. So this is why I'm using that. And for this first part, I'm using the Kemper drive with not much distortion, a little bit higher volume to boost the amp input. And this is how it sounds like. Need to turn the B string a bit. No, the A string. Okay. And this Kemper drive gives me a little bit of flavor, some smooth sound, some overdriven sound when I hit the strings hard. A soft sound when I play soft. And the amp profile is, I would say some kind of polished sound. And now you get some little bit of dirt when you turn on the Kemper drive. Without the Kemper drive, great for funk sounds. But for pop or yacht rock sounds, it's better to use the Kemper drive then. And but for me, it also sounds boring a little bit. And now I'm kicking in the natural reverb with 3.1 seconds decay time, a mix level at 47%, and what else? Nothing fancy, pre-delay at 95 milliseconds. And this is how it sounds like then. This reverb adds a little bit, space, some, ambience stuff. And now it sounds, for me, it sounds better. It gets more character. But the most important thing is the two-tap delay. This is a setting I used with a pedal steel sound in the video number, it was 10, yes. A quarter note, an 8 note, or quarter note on the left, 8 note on the right. Feedback at 69%, mix level really high at 79%. But I'm using ducking. So when I'm playing, the delay is really at a lower level. So the plate notes don't compete with the delay notes. But it adds some really nice atmosphere to this part. Check it out. Without the delay. Nothing special, but this little bit of effect turns it to something, where I say it's not sounding boring.
There is this glue and this...
And some, something like noise in the background. You know, when you have, wait a minute, I stopped the, when you have older recordings from 70s, and they have some, you hear the room, you hear noises, and in those modern recordings where we record with profilers with line recording and something like that, we need to imitate those noises, these atmosphere, this ambience. And I often play some noise from a marketplace or something like that under a recording, just to get something in the background which creates some atmosphere and space, just at a really low level. But when you turn it off, you think, oh, there's something missing, and it sounds natural, nice with that noise. So this delay is for me the noise in the background which glues, like you said it, which glues everything together.
Yeah, and it sounds a little bit also like, I mean, in the 70s, early 80s, there were still this, there were tape echoes.
Mm-hmm. The first digital delay started.
Digital delay, the bucket brigades.
Yeah.
You know, where you had degrading signals from repetition to repetition to repetition. And this has also a little bit of that character that very fast vanishes in the back because it has no treble anymore and no definition anymore. The signal crunches away, but it still does some weird noise stuff in the background, indeed.
Take a look at the settings. The high cut is really turned down at 1600. So if I would
cut even more.
Yeah, and I cut it more. If I would turn it to natural, so no high cut, it would sound like that. Not nice.
No, cheesy, a little bit cheesy.
Yeah. And with that high cut, you get this, tape echo sound. You can even turn the grid a bit up. To distort it a little bit more. Sounds nice too. So you get with this more polished guitar sound, adding a little bit grittiness in the background with this two-tap delay.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing, the great thing about the stuff that we have today, because you have the polished, very defined, high-quality guitar tone, and then in the back you can smother it with everything that sounds significant or helpful from the last 4 or 5 decades, you know, in terms of styles, because the tools are there to have both the pristine and the definition in the front, and then a lot of dirt and analog stuff basically in the background if you want to add some character and some flavor to it.
And of course the digital stuff these days is really at a high quality to imitate all this old delay stuff. I really wouldn't have a tape delay. If somebody donates me one, you're welcome. But I talked to a producer and he tried to buy an Echolet. And I thought, I told him, did you think about somebody who can repair this stuff? And there's one guy here in Germany, one guy near Frankfurt, but he's, I think, 60 or 70 years old, so he won't work that long anymore. So some parts for these delays, tape. So no, not at all. I like to have those digital stuff here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't look for that photo yet, but by coincidence, I found a photo of my first rig, which was ridiculous. And we had this for vocals, an Echo-led amplifier, a 2-channel amplifier. Basically, it looked like a tube top, but it was a vocal amp, basically 40 watts, just like this. And it was broken half the time. And then somebody found this Echo-led tape delay, which was already destroyed at that point, which was late 80s, early 90s. No, late 70s, early 80s. And we were making tapes on our own because we had no money, of course, but old tape machines. And it sounded always pretty nasty, but it made for a great tube preamp.
Yeah.
In front of a twin, for example, without
what Jimmy Page used, Blackmore, all of those guys used the Echoplex preamp to boost up their amps and get some warm sound out of it.
But the tapes were totally ridiculous because they would detune the tone when they were out of order, and to a certain point, that's quite nice. But if it's too much, it's just unbearable. And so I was so happy when the first digital delays came, and this bucket brigade thing with this nice degrade of the sound. And now we have access to all of that tonal character and can season it to taste.
You can choose how old your tape is and how detuned it is. So this is all with those flutter rate, grid, modulation, a lot of style that you can create with these delay settings here.
Yes, absolutely, and without the flaws and the unexpected things that always happen to these devices. Yes, absolutely. And all this can be programmed and controlled in real time seamlessly. Basically, that's also, not forget to mention, one of the unique aspects of the Kemper, that real-time performance system that is so flawless with smooth switching and stuff like that. So everything available at your fingertips with all the great tones from the last decades, plus very, very modern accessibility and reliability as well. Yeah, and by the way,
let's move on.
All these things are for download. The Tone Show rigs. Go to the rig manager, find that Tone Show, and also on the Kemper website you can download that Tone Show as a rig pack. So you have access to all these things without needing to recreate them, which was our first idea. That's why Thomas put all his rig manager settings into the Tone Show videos. But now we hear you.
Yeah, everybody is lazy, and I understand that.
And Thomas made all this stuff available. Hard work, and thank you for that.
Yeah,
and for the tones again.
Let's move on with the second part. We have to mention then. This is something. So we have the basic with natural reverb, 2-tap delay, Kemper drive. Then for the bridge tone or pre-chorus tone, I just kick in a phaser vibe. This is the typical bridge sound. This is interesting. So when you've, that's what I thought with the pop song. When it goes to the pre-chorus, you play a different part. So you're starting, then you go to the pre-chorus, Sounds nice, but for me, something's missing, something changing. That's what I'm always looking for. I'm looking for when it comes to different song parts. So take a different part with a different sound or with another sound and another effect, and there the vibe is really nice. So I put it on a half note. Is it a half note? Oh, I think. Yeah. No, it's a half. Oh, wait a minute. Here we are. It should be half note. No, half triplet. That's what. And yeah, mix level at 100%, wide stereo sound, and 4 stages. So this is just for the pre-chorus part. Then next part, so chorus or the solo, the lead part, I'm turning on the pure booster, and this is how it sounds like. This is something, the pure booster is something that I really use very often. You find it in mostly, not every rig from the Legends Tribute collection, but I hit it in the first or second module just to add some more gain if needed. And it sounds great, it sounds natural, and it sounds, for me, better to have the pure booster in front of an overdriven amp or the Kemper drive or any drive, instead of taking more gain from the drive or from the amp. So it's just, I don't know what it makes, but it smoothens the attacks a little bit and gives me a little bit more sustain, more gain to play, to have a really comfortable play feel. And but that doesn't always also that doesn't sound special. This is just a nice lead tone. And to get it a bit more special, I turn on the chromatic bridge. Yeah, chromatic pitch.
Well, in the mix, this sounds pretty subtle, but of course.
Yeah. It adds an octave down, 2 voices, same sound, same pitch, and I didn't turn the pure tuning or chords on. Chords normal, pure tuning off, and form and shift on -1.5, and the mix is really low at -39%. So like you said, in the mix, in the song mix, you don't really hear it. It's just giving that lead tone a warmer sound, just with that lower pitch. And the question that maybe will come is, why don't using an analog octaver? The answer is, I tried that, and the chromatic pitch gives me the stereo sound. So I have on the left side and on the right side the pitch shifted signal, and in the middle the normal signal, the normal tone. When I'm using an analog octaver in front of the amplifier, then it's mono and everything is in the middle. So I have this really wide lead tone. Sometimes, when I have enough time, I double a lead track with an octave lower, left and right. So I have 3 tracks then, and with a chromatic pitch or with that sound, I can do it at once and don't need to play it again. So that's it with these 3 tones in the yacht pop West Coast 70s style sound.
This is amazing. And again, it's so amazing that it's basically pretty far away from the typical guitar stuff, but very creative and musical production thinking behind that, and that makes it really special. And this brings me to the point of, let me see, we had, here it is, this book we talked about, and now it's, damn it, Kindle is not, no, I can't show it.
I should bring it. I have it at home. Rick Rubin.
You have it, right? I just wanted to see the cover, but Kindle is always switching immediately to, oh no, there it is. That's the cover. Rick Rubin's book about creativity, and you got it right. I just got the sample, the intro sample, and it stops. I thought at the point when it starts to become interesting. So, so what do you think as we speak about creativity? Creativity.
The first 10, 20 pages.
Okay, so you're as far as
I can't say anything, but it's nice. Some talking about nature and creativity, and yeah, I think it will be really nice and inspiring. And yeah, what I have to mention to these sounds, it's almost the small details that are really important for some production style or something like that. So the really 2-tap delay for this one sound that's really in the background, or this chromatic pitch which makes it a bit more fuller, the lead sound, and just with subtle settings you create something that sounds a bit more special. So try things you won't think that you will try them.
Yeah, and the great thing is, I think you can end up with less tracks, because these days productions tend to have a lot of tracks, because things sound digital, and if you don't use saturation and some analog style stuff, you end up with kind of thin signals. If you do work with saturation, you get much more impact and much more, how would you call it, more width with every signal, and so you can end up with less tracks, because you don't need to put so much glue to points where you think it sounds too thin. And that's the approach you are using, and you are presenting here with these smart
little noise in the background.
Noises in the background coming from some unusual effects. That's really good advice.
And some stuff which is not controllable. So this delay, this creates something, but I can't really control it. So it's there, and it reacts on my playing, but it's not really something I think about, that I need to play this like that, or like a tempo delay where you really need to play accurate. So it's just something that gives me dirt in the backing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Add some dirt.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what a lot of famous producers say anyways. To make it real, special, and personal as well. Yeah, another amazing episode, another bunch of amazing tips from Thomas. Thank you very much. This is it for now. Try this at home, download that Tone Show rigs, and put a look into Rick Rubin's book, maybe. And we will see you next time with then episode 13. If there might be an episode 13, maybe 12A or... No, we're not suspicious. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you.